Archidiacono. Pull up three. Off the rim. Pulled away by Bryce Johnson.
They are not afraid to drill it either. Nobody's under the rim.
Villanova is switching everything. So many unusual matchups, but it's all about grit and hustle for this Wildcat team.
Jackson able.
Chefu will make you pay.
Villanova up by 5.
There's that early offense back screen. They usually cross screen. Nice front by Hart. Really frustrating in his post defense of Johnson.
Just all hard work and intensity.
No, too deep here.
Meeks, turnaround, yes.
Yep. He worked hard to get. Or could he get off the floor? Major league. And look at the mismatch inside with Meeks.
Here is Jackson. What a strike.
This kid stuff out on the bounce. A little post up and some strength. Pretty good feel in this game, isn't it?
Oh, man. Let's hope it can stay this way.
Brunson's got to pay attention to Jackson, too. He's looking to help out a little bit too much.
Here's another three. Winning in 06.
Grant didn't say the line Kruger. I think he remembered the game.
I would think. Paige. Little head fake.
Nice
pass. Oh, he does some great.
Nice hesitation. Booth. Look at this. You're not going to get much for free with those bigs looming.
Has Carolina changed the momentum?
They have. Nice cross.
Outside. Big shot right here. Barry's three. Yes!
Right back. Same romance.
You know you're a shooter when you get a touch like that.
Freshman's first shot at a Final Four is one of the great bounces you'll ever see.
He's active in the middle of that zone. You'll see him block some shots. They're looking for the lob. And that's light.
Oh, and he tapped it right in.
They got a piece
to us. The awareness. Cooney just hit a shot, tried to go to him, but couldn't convert.
Jackson goes under Coleman to Richardson's able to get that one.
Like a few at the rim. Now they come right back. Put pressure on your defense, and they get plenty of time to run their offense.
In fact, going back to the regional final against Notre Dame, they missed 18 straight from three.
Perfect trap.
Hadn't hurt him. And
nice
Paige,
pass.
look at that. Doesn't even catch it.
It's nice to be.
North Carolina throttled Notre Dame. Here we go. The final Elite Eight matchup. And the tip is controlled by North Carolina. Away we go. One more slot remaining at the Final Four in Houston. And right away they get it inside to Bryce Johnson, and he scores with 6. Down to 3. Jackson on the way in. Jackson can't get it to go. It's Johnson with a rebound. And almost to travel. Ends up in the hands of Paige. Paige, good pass. Johnson finishes.
It's like that's all Thomas Bryant's hand.
Yeah, good call there. New shot clock. Not that the shot clock's going to come into play much here tonight. Bryce Johnson goes strong. Drops his shoulder and delivers for the true freshman, Morgan. Back in the game is Marcus Paige. This is Jackson who hits a 3. And here's Farrell now. He'll pull up. That's a shot. That was a long 2. Johnson clears the rebound away. How many rebounds have we had when Bryce Johnson's on the floor? Great little hesitation. And the floater is good. The Irish of Notre Dame. They played that thriller against Kentucky last year at Cleveland.
OG Anunoby is checking Marcus Paige. John Crean going with some size versus Marcus Paige.
Paige, right to Johnson. He's fouled. Count the basket. At the 3 and hits. If you're Notre Dame here, you can hang your hat on the fact that you beat North Carolina in South Bend in February. However, in the ACC tournament, North Carolina blitzed the Irish. A 31-point victory on March 11th at the ACC tournament in D.C.
Go! Providence. Got to continue to play hard here. Paige and Hicks is open. Team, Eagle team, 1 in Philadelphia over Georgetown, the 2 seed, and then
later San Diego State and Steve Fisher. Good screen. The shot outside. UNLV transfer Morant. Joel Berry, Marcus Paige, Zach Johnson defending. In the Knicks. Good pass of the All-ACC team. Corellia. Simmons trying, lost the ball, pickpocketed by Paige.
Counting turnovers and offensive rebounds. That's now 20 extra possessions secured for North Carolina.
Jackson with a DeBose. What a pretty play. Julian DeBose out of Washington, D.C.
And I thought Johnson was going to get that block shot as well. I think he just wasn't in the proper position. He was trailing the play a little bit. He's got everything else.
Jackson, three, good! Wow. 7.5 to go. Freshman tries to work in.
That's number
that
6.
is his number 7. That is a career high. They've given him one other that we had not counted.
Oh, I'm shortchanging him.
He's getting inside and scooping it up.
Sure is. It used to be 8, then it was 9, now it's 15, although just 14 this year. Louisville not here. Nice feed. Paige to Hicks.
Hill just gets right into your body and takes up that space that a defender can use to block or change a shot.
Paige the split, finds the cutting Johnson. That's beautiful. Threes in the win over Duke yesterday. He'll take one here, in and out of the rebound to Bryce Johnson.
And Bryce Johnson guarding Bonzi Colson. Colson going to try to put Johnson into ball screen situations and drive him. Notre Dame starts out in a 2-3 zone. They've been playing quite a bit of zone lately to start games and doing it at least until the first media timeout.
And of course Carolina sees a fair bit of zone. They're not a very good outside shooting team. Roy Williams wants that ball going inside even against the zone. To the NBA, Jackson has really become probably the #1 leader on this team. Mike Bray telling us at the beginning when he kind of became the voice, it was all about, kicking somebody in the rear end, but now he's learning how to mix it up a little. Watching Barry play basketball, and that football coach said to Roy Williams, if he wanted to play football, he'd be a big-time football recruit as a defensive back.
Well, that's why, just because of the strength he exhibits, and when you get the ball that deep, Isaiah Hicks is going to score. If you don't bump that cutter, Bryce Johnson has incredible springs in his legs, and he dunks that ball on the way up.
And he can also knock down tonight. They're getting good minutes from guys like Hicks and James. Tap out there by Jackson. How many times do you see Carolina do that on a missed free throw?
Well, that's the thing. That's what they're known for, and you have to be alert for it. That's what Notre Dame can. You can turn those into offensive opportunities for yourself if you're alert.
Paige inside, whips a pass into Hicks for another slam.
Well, the shot fakes and
lead coming in. Obviously, they're going to get a nice seed in the NCAA tournament, whether it's maybe a 5 or who knows what it'll be. Jackson inside again.
Just makes himself available.
4 threes, 16 points, 6 assists tonight for Paige. If Paige plays at this level, this turns a very good team into a potentially great team.
And then you've got both Paige and Joel Berry, because Joel Berry was injured a lot last year. He's a freshman, and he's a different player this year. You're looking at a terrific backcourt. They start shooting it like this.
Well, Berry's got an edge to him. He's got a real grit to him as well that Roy Williams really enjoys. Justin Jackson.
Inside Bryce Johnson, and an easy bucket for Bryce. First, that red arc lights up when someone attempts a 3, and it stays lit for a couple of seconds when the field goal's good. Berry looked like he took a hit. Under 4 minutes to go. Bryce Johnson. Their scoring average more than that 8 points from a year ago. Grayson Allen's on pace to have the biggest improvement one year or the next in the history of the ACC in scoring.
It's a relentless competitor, Grayson Allen.
We'll see him in our next game. Duke and Notre Dame warming up. This one was close with 10.5 minutes to go. Carolina led by only 2, but since then they pulled away. Bryce Johnson
Joe. Thank you. Have fun in the bunker. Joe Lunardi joining us
You
from
bet.
the bunker.
Thanks,
A
guys.
steal by Paige ahead to Jackson, who slams on.
Duke is keeping the floor spread and driving and kicking. And North Carolina's trying to get it closer. That was an excellent pass. And can make that little short jumper where it says ACC right below the free throw line. Then Kennedy Meeks can work the baseline. There it is. That area is wide open.
They'll get the shot off and convert easily.
How emotional he is on senior day. Talked quite emotionally about Joel James, a young man who came from very tough circumstances in South Florida, one of 11 children. And he has become a student leader on campus here in Chapel Hill. Bryce Johnson scored. He has scored a total of 4 points in their last 2 games against Pitt and NC State.
In fact, in the second half of their last game, didn't get a lot of burn. He seems coach a little bit frustrated with him because he's typically in the lineup.
Joel Berry had a terrific year. That's a 3. You think, as you said at the top of the telecast, with the size, strength, talent inside and Syracuse weakness in the inside, that would be where North Carolina would try to attack. And Syracuse doing a good job of not letting the ball get in the middle of that lane. Make them shoot. Be a 7-point. You mentioned it. 12 3-point attempts for North Carolina. They've made 4. Syracuse done an excellent job preventing the ball from going inside.
And if you're North Carolina, at least with these threes, a lot of them have been uncontested. 4 different guys have made one, and that's Justin James is not there to guard him. I love the progression of Michael Benajay.
Berry for 3. All of a sudden, Syracuse within 4. Big miss by Richardson. Hicks from
25.4 points per game. He's had 11 30-point games. Perry Ellis, 1,600 points in a Kansas uniform. Nice to see so many guys stay that long and be that productive.
time it looks like North Carolina might pull away. Syracuse has had a response. It was 13 a moment ago. It's now 9.
That's defended as well as you can defend it. And Paige ended that possession with a hand directly in Benajay's face. That is just terrific concentration from Benajay.
Is it too late to include him in serious talk for Player of the Year of the conference? Hicks drops it in.
Thing that has come his way. What a great player.
He's made both his threes, both his free throws. He's got 8 points already. Joel Berry the second, wide open to answer with a three of his own.
North Carolina. London Fuentes doesn't get the credit for it, but I would put him up with the top point guards in the country.
Meeks with a turnaround hook from about 10, 11 feet right now.
Coming off that little down screen and what Virginia calls their sides. He can make a straight cut or he can curl it. That time he curled it.
Joel Berry with his second three of the game. It's the drive. And it's Carolina ball.
Got numbers. Good pass.
Berry again. Another three for Joel Berry.
Well, what a great pass by
defensive rebound. Maverick can't get it to go. Maverick rolling. Keep an eye on him tonight. They're going to need a big-time game from him. Inside pass to Jackson from Paige. Loose, and no one there to scratch him. Johnson with a beautiful jump hook up.
This is where North Carolina is its most dangerous, is in transition. They run their secondary break.
Grayson Allen on Justin Jackson right now. Keep an eye on the Ingram-Johnson matchup. Meeks with a jump hook over Plumlee.
40 minutes. Bringing in Isaiah Hicks off the bench is a more physical
and more athletic big guy that can really score efficiently. He's a difficult matchup for Duke.
Keep an eye on the ball handling of Pinson. Last 5 games, 25 assists, 5 turnovers. Johnson with the up and under. Sweet post feed from Paige.
Solid job defensively by Bryce Johnson to stay in front.
Johnson gets free of Plumlee and slams home 2 more.
Pitt's been playing really well defensively as of late. Well, I tell you, Bryce Johnson is virtually unstoppable, but it's been that kind of day for the Panthers. Paige, pass is good to Kennedy Meeks. How about the pass by Paige?
That's now 17 offensive rebounds for the Pitt Panthers, but again, they've converted those 17 into 9 points. And that little issue just hasn't really affected this well-oiled Tar Heel machine today.
That was Ryan Luther with that tip, and he's a good-looking young player. He's just a sophomore. Johnson gets 2 more.
On the offensive end.
Turner trying to go backdoor. That was a tough pass to try to pull off. Knocked away by North Carolina. Paige, pass Barnes-Tompkins, right to Bryce Johnson for his left.
To win 350 at 2 D1 schools, and we're underway. Roger Ayers tosses it up, and North Carolina takes the opening tip.
Well, and Notre Dame starts off in man-to-man. Steve Vastori, the best defender for this Fighting Irish team on Marcus Paige to start. He is 6'5", and an excellent defender.
Bryce Johnson over the top of Bonzie Colson for the first bucket.
Well, Bonzie Colson is from the basket, didn't go straight up, and those shots are even more difficult than your standard catch and shoot under pressure.
Bryce Johnson puts it up nice and soft rims, and evidence there is North Carolina's. Irish on top for the first time since about the 15.5-minute mark in the first half. Meeks ties it up again.
A nice touch on that.
Most coaches would kill for that. But they've set a very high standard with that pressing and trapping defense, frenetic for so many years, so beautifully executed. But as you said earlier, Bruce, a young Louisville team, the freshmen learning, the transfers learning how to play in this defense. Kennedy Meeks scores inside. Lewis blocked by Marcus Paige. Nate Britt on the board again for North Carolina. Chance to tie or take the lead. Johnson fouled. And a chance for a 3-point play. 7 for Louisville with under 6 minutes to go. Paige with the much taller Spalding out contesting. Bryce Johnson. Pretty hard with Johnson in there. Lewis fell down and turned it over. Jackson from Paige. It's a 4-point game with 1:55 to go.
She do, and that rolls in. One-point play. Getting that one to go. It's a reverse is up and in for 2 from Theo Buffo. Down the lane. Boy, he's got a lot to handle here.
He has, and that's too easy of a basket for him. If you're North Carolina defensively, you can't allow him to get those easy looks.
Bryce Johnson flying out.
Playing the three-pointers good for Paige.
Buzz Williams does a great job of drawing up sets out of timeouts, and there got their best shooter, Justin Bibbs, an open look for 3.
Theo Pinson checking in for North Carolina, number 1 in blue. Back to a 3-point game. Paige with 5 early points. Johnson baseline, that's his shot. He's developed.
Really moving their feet, showing their hands, not picking up the personal fouls, knowing Virginia Tech loves to get downhill and drive the ball to the hoop.
Danger zone for the Hokies, trailing already by 14. Berry for 3.
Jalen Hudson doesn't waste that one. Gets in transition, gets to the hoop for an easy finish.
Hudson with 7. The lead is 3. Outside, Barry connects.
Is up with confidence, able to knock down the top of the key three-point shot, which is a huge key for these Hokies, finding someone else on the offensive end to contribute.
Paige inside, a great dish at the buzzer. He remains on the bench inside the Blackshear.
Freshman to freshman, Justin Robinson finding a slashing Blackshear to the lane.
4-point lead for North Carolina. Kennedy makes the quick spin and the basket.
Well, he made
11 minutes remaining. And the quick hands of Marcus Paige. Here's a steal. Brett free throw line extended. For Virginia Tech, 61-59. Paige inside Johnson, and a big response for North.
And some perfect symmetry up there. I'm partial to the 18 Final Four banners. Bryce Johnson, he keeps playing like this. It might be a 19.
Almost 90 points a game. We're underway as the Tar Heels win the opening tip, coming in at 15-2. NC State at 10-7.
That 46 was the lowest ever scored in the D-Zone. And I can tell you this, Roy Williams has reminded his team about it.
Yes, over and over again. Joe Barry on here to Jackson, who's only hitting 23% beyond the three-point line. Kennedy Meeks back for Paige. Shot clock down to 7. First jumper of the afternoon and switched in on that wing.
She squares the body exceptionally well. So far, they've done a great job. NC State. Now it's early. It's 6 minutes of the game. Keeping North Carolina from running up and down the floor in transition.
This is exactly what Gottfried wanted.
Great
pick. It's from the stuff. And can he get up in a hurry?
Ever in this building, 46.
Yes. To the other side of the iron. No whistle there. Tries to save it. Flips it out for Paige. Barry. Here's a long one. Got it. A three-pointer.
Quietest 30-point game in many, many years Monday night at Florida State. That's because Bryce Johnson had 39 points and 23 rebounds. Paige had 30 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, no turnover.
This right away because we know the suspension should start right away, and then we could rule on everything else later in due course. They decided not to do that. It was a total mess, And even with giving scholarships back, because they ruled that the committee abused its discretion with regard to the suspension and the scholarships, they took a scholarship away.
Down now. Cooney with another three.
Again, that wide 10. When he catches it, he is ready to fire.
4th three of the game for Trevor Cooney. Paige into the lane, tries to drop it off, has to run it down, got it back. And Johnson with the injury, but they felt they would have to sit him down at some point, so he sat out 7 games. Came back, looked pretty good in the first half.
He looked very good. It also saved some wear and tear on Kennedy Meeks. Because if you remember, he wore down toward the end of last season, so this gives him a little more rest in the middle of the season.
Game was played. That seemed like,
well, I don't think that game is quite as good as the NBA draft wingspan or on dehydration game, which I really appreciate it. I wish I could partake. Wingspan was in it.
The Bentley Doritos story, by the way, as Paige finds Jackson. What a finish in Carolina
to the free throw line. The guys really worked hard, and they're knocking him down.
This time for Cooney. Hicks by himself, by the way, is 9 for 9 from the free throw line and has 13 points in 16 minutes of play. Paige thought about it. Barry will do more than that. He'll drain it.
That was all made by just got a knack for scoring, I think.
2-point game, 4.5 to go here with the Carrier Dome. Ten to shoot. Johnson from the baseline, got it.
Those are so. North Carolina's doing a really good job of attacking these wings and then getting the ball in the middle. They're not just attacking from the top.
Jackson with another floater, and the lead.
Tan Mays stopped just inside the free throw line, was given an angle to shoot, so he took the shot and missed it. Underneath, Bryce Johnson right down the lane. Bacon stumbled and scored without traveling. And it's a 2-point game in the first minute of the second half. Into Johnson again. Not sure he ever had this back and score. Bryce Johnson banks one home. Up there for Brandon, the senior from Greensboro, North Carolina. Versatile player who started at every position but center in his career at Florida State.
And now he draws the assignment of Johnson on the pick and roll loop switch.
Paige, beautiful play. 7-point game.
Good.
Bryce Johnson, by the way, has already set the opponent's record for rebounds in a game with his 22.
Nice efficient hit. Everything's got to be efficient offensively from here on out. Florida State, they run a stagger to get Bacon going to his right.
Paige, a ransom clock. Berry, a huge three.
And we're tied at 4. Georgia Tech with some pressure.
North Carolina has had a couple of games this year, Tim, where they've struggled handling the ball.
You know, Dan, what jumps out at me is how Paige lets the game come to him. Gets in, he's not trying to force the action. He's trying to facilitate and look for others.
Because he made Isaiah Hicks decide, okay, who do I guard? And Hicks decided to go out and guard Adam Smith, and that gave Marcus Georges-Hunt the wide open layup.
Georges-Hunt with 13 points now. Skip pass inside to James. Tries to back in on Leonard.
Today, but I'm not sure that's the shot you want in that particular situation if you're the Georgia Tech coaching staff.
Made 1, missed 2. Marcus Paige says 2 of me, somebody's got to be free. There he is.
Bonus land this year, Coach.
Big plus for UNCG if Francisco Alonso can hit those threes.
Bryce Johnson back in and back to work. Good turnaround. Back to 11.
I like him. If his confidence gets up, 6 points now, 2 threes. UNCG could hang in there with these guys if this guy's making threes, Francisco Alonso.
Oh, brilliant pass to Johnson in traffic. Points.
And you just wonder why Justin Jackson's not following the scouting report. In other words, when Alonso has it, chase him off the three-point line.
Down low, the finish for Johnson.
50%, 35% from 3 is all right, but they've missed their last 9.
Getting really good looks. OB, they're just not making them. I think they got to throw that basketball back inside and play out of Bryce Johnson or Isaiah Hicks. They've been able to get some good stuff inside when they've thrown it there.
Here's Paige to his right. Down low for Hicks and a stop.
In the middle of that, look at the footwork on this kid in. Hands as well. Rebound, numbers, quick out with Paige. Nice run. Oh, beautiful. That's amazing what they can do. 11. Alford quick. In and out. Great check out. Here they come. On the dark shirts. Nice look. I love the way he gives it up. Oh. Coming back. From the corner, Berry. Nope. Ooh. No foul call. I like that. From the corner, Jackson. Yeah, that hurts. You got to Here's Mr. Alford. Look at this kid. Everything. Oh, wow. He wanted to foul. He body searched. Isaiah Hicks was there defensively. One touch pass. Berry got it. How about you? Puts it in the hands of Paige. Always looking. Look at him peeking, peering. How about he could have today, and there's a inbound play for Tony Parker. And look at Bryce right at the rim. That puts Parker in a disadvantage already. There you are. I mean, that's there you are.
Much better.
This kid plays with a lot of confidence.
Low block, Hicks spins and goes right around Ocean here. Mississippi State in Florida State will follow us tonight on ESPN2, the Battle of the Maliks in that game.
Yeah, folks, if you haven't seen... Oh, what a... Carolina to go to work on the box.
Tar Heels by 11 and the steal by Paige. The 3-on-2 Barry finishes with the left.
Ball tonight. There's no way or no reason why that guy shouldn't be one of the premier power forwards in the country. He's got the full skill set and he's got mega bounce.
Following the Osetkowski miss, this is Paige. Penetrates and the dump down.
To throw it to him inside, and they've been fortunate that Bryce has missed a few. But I like what they're doing in the offensive end. They're attacking, getting into the paint by either the bounce or throwing it inside. I'd like to see Tulane continue to do that here, the stretch of this half.
Tar Heels by 13, first game since losing to Texas last Saturday. Time running down on the shot clock, and Pinson barely first in any of those categories. That's something.
That's true.
Ahead it goes to Jackson, counted in the 12th straight time in this rivalry. Dabney no good. Rebound is pulled down by Luke May. May's been very impressive off the bench with 5 rebounds.
Yes, he has.
And here's the runner by Jackson.
With the exception of one game, they've won 5. They've won 5 of the last 6 and have played extraordinarily well against the Tar Heels.
Justin Jackson guarded by DeMarcus Holland. Holland, a terrific defender, but giving up a lot of size in that matchup. Now Paige with a drive, finds Jackson. Elevates for a 3 and buries it.
Well, you can see Marcus Paige keeping his dribble.
Tipped away by Barry. Paige ahead. Jackson ties the game.
Good hands by the... And that's made him give the ball up.
It'll start with Barry. Now to Paige. Paige on the baseline, whips it underneath, and Johnson ties the game.
What a nice... Jason, that'll get you fired.
Well, it will, but the Davidson administration made an excellent decision giving this guy an opportunity to get his program moving in the right direction. I coach Murray. The three-point shot is the great equalizer, and we understand this Davidson team can get hot in a hurry. They have 2 guys, and Gibbs and Sullivan, that are proficient at scoring the ball.
But they have no answer when Bryce Johnson.
Definitely a goal tended by Bryce Johnson. He touched it after it already hit the glass.
Kennedy Meeks bullish in the paint. His second basket of the
3rd in the A-10. Nice backdoor action, and all just get to finish up top. This is a team that their expectations are still in front of them. They still have a chance to do everything they want to do. A tough game here
here tonight. A couple of charter members of the ACC now doing battle with the Maryland, of course, moving to the Big Ten a couple of years ago.
Marcus Paige being guarded by Rasheed Suleiman. They had to switch out, and Trimble picked him up.
Kennedy Meeks gets dismissed from the Duke program last year, and he hits Nickens, who, as we told you, can really shoot it. Nickens knocks down the 3. He had a career-high 16, including 4 threes.
With this kind of intensity, it's so hard to guard their actions.
Yet another Maryland turnover. Numbers for Carolina. Give and go. Paige back to Johnson. Suleiman coming into the game tonight, shooting an even 50%, 12 out of 24 from three-point range.
He has really taken advantage of a second chance.
Joel Berry to the end. Almost the entire night. Johnson with good hands.
He timed that out very well. Used that arm bar. Good pass.
And what a great play by